For those of you who wear Tallit Gadol when they daven, there's another point that has to be remembered. The Shulchan Aruch, Siman Chet, Sif Katan, Dalet, paragraph Dalet, says this: Machzir shtei tzitziot lefanav u'shtayim lacharav. The proper way to wear a talit is two tzitziot. Two of the four are in front of you, and two of the four are in back of you. Kedei sheyeh mesovav u'mitzvot. That's what the Shulchan Aruch says. In order that you should be surrounded, by mitzvot. This halacha is not contested by the Ramah. In fact, when you wear a talit, you have to have two in front and two in back. I remember seeing all sorts of people who show up in shul. Rarely, they tend to take the talit. They don't know exactly how to get it to sit on them in the proper manner. So they take the talit and they wear it like a shawl, like a scarf around their neck. And that way, all four tzitziyot are in front and none are in the back. I think that Rav Ovadia and the Yeshiva pointed out that if you do that, you probably are not really wearing a talit, because you have to wear it like an article of clothing, with two tzitziyot in the front and two tzitziyot in the back, and that's the way we do it. The Mishnah Berurah adds an interesting point. He says if you look at a talit, every talit has an atara, has a crown on it, which enables you to distinguish the top from the bottom. You know that Hasidim like to put on a silver crown and make it very fancy, and Litvaks, are usually kind of simpler in these matters, so they add a piece of cloth on that side of the talit, and that's how they know which way is up and which way is down. But in fact, the point is that the tzitziyot that are in front should always be in front, and the tzitziyot that are in back should always be in back. And that is that's because that we know that there's certain preference to the north, and since these two tzitziot were zoche, had the merit of being worn in the front, they should always have the merit of being worn in the front, and that should never change. So again, when you put on your talit, you put it on such that two tzitziot are in the front and two tzitziot are in the back. It's also important to know that the minhag Ashkenaz is that if you are not married, you don't wear a talit gadol, and that it is sufficient to make the bracha on the talit katan, even though it's hard to wrap yourself in it. Nevertheless, the Mechaber says that you fulfill the obligation of wearing tzitzit. If you can, and you're wearing a talit katan and only a talit katan, you're not going to put on a talit gadol later on, then you should try to wrap the talit katan around your head as a atifat harosh when you put it on. But when you wear a talit gadol, it's sufficient that the atifat harosh should take place at that time.